Hey guys, it's Alina here, and today I have my March favorites. So I might have missed February, and if you watch my vlog channel, you know why. So I'm back on it for March. Everything is back to sort of normal. So before we get started, be sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you love favorites videos and you want me to keep doing them, because I'd be happy to do that. And let's just get into it. So most of these items are kind of makeup and skincare, but I do have, a few other kind of random items to talk about. So the first item I'm going to talk about is my Urban Decay Naked Smoky Palette. So if you have been following me on Instagram, you know that a lot of the looks I've been doing have included the Urban Decay Naked Smoky Palette, especially when I do like a smoky glittery eye. I have been loving this palette more than I think ever, more than when I first purchased it. I don't know what made me pull this palette out and start using it, but it actually stays pretty close by. I don't really ever put it away because that's how much I use it. Really, really amazing. I only have one other like eyeshadow, and it's not an eyeshadow palette, it's a specific eyeshadow. I actually picked this up during Gen Beauty LA, I believe. And it's an Ipsy like quad, and I was allowed to make the different colors, but the color I'm talking about is this shade. I believe it was exclusive to Gen Beauty because it's an Ipsy shade. It's called Matte About Ipsy. It's been the transition shade that I've used almost exclusively for the entire month. If you look at most of my makeup looks, this is the transition shade I've been using. It's amazing. I hope that they release it. I don't know, I haven't checked the site, so maybe they have released it, but if you do see it, Matte About Ipsy, get it. Staying on with eyes, I have done a lot of smoky glittery looks, and a lot of the time when I'm using like a darker glitter, it's my Makeup Forever glitter. It doesn't have a color to it, but it's kind of like a gunmetal glitter. Really amazing. It's very finely milled. I like the NYX glitters, but I find that some of them are, the glitter is all the same shape, I feel like, but sometimes it just seems really chunky when I compare it to this, which is a lot more finely milled, so it's a lot easier to apply more evenly when you want the full lid covered, you know what I mean? Really, really amazing. I wish they had this in every color of the rainbow. I wish it was more affordable. I actually got this in a set, so overall all the products in the set were a lot more affordable, but really, really good. I am missing a lot of categories here because I'm still using the same items that I've been loving for months. I tend to get that way, especially with hair care. I don't really mix it up with hair care because what I've been doing has been working and I don't want to change it up. Same thing with a mascara that I love or whatnot. A lot of the things are the same, and that's why they haven't been included. Doesn't mean that they're not my favorite, it just means that I'm tired of talking about it in a favorites video over and over and over again. I'm sure you guys are tired of listening about it. I'm not tired of talking about it, let's be honest. But I feel like you guys are tired of listening of the same products, so trying not to include the same ones. For lashes, it's got to be the Pure Cosmetics Pro 3D Silk Lashes. So my favorite is Bombshell. Usually when I've got crazy lashes going on, this is the one I'm wearing. Really, really great. And they're pretty affordable as far as like brand name lashes that aren't from the drugstore. Really, really nice. And they come, I think, in 6 different versions. By the way, they sent that to me. It'll be in the description box, but they sent it to me. Now every time I post a photo of a product, which you guys know I like to do product photos, I have a lot of fun taking product photos, everyone thinks it's an ad. No, it's not an ad. Or let's stay on makeup. Let's be organized here. So for primer, Dermalogica sent me their Hydro Blur primer, which I have been dying to try because everybody talks about it and I really, really, really like it. It's really, really great for filling in pores, smoothing out your skin texture. Really amazing. The only thing is I feel like this tube, it's not even an ounce. So when compared to other primers, I think most primers tend to be an ounce. I don't know, it just seems like there's not that much here, but I feel like it will last a long time. So it's really, really good. This I feel like I've talked about, but I've used it almost every single day, so I can't not talk about it. It's the NYX Glitter Primer. Whenever I'm using any sort of glitter anywhere on my face, this is what's keeping it steady. I also use this when I'm working with the Colourpop Super Shock shadows, the metallic-y ones, because I find that without this, they don't pack on as pigmented. Anytime I do a halo look, I'm using this, even if it's like a shadow. I just want it to, this just makes everything pop, it makes everything stick, so you're gonna get a really, really pigmented color. So this is really amazing. I'm sure this is really probably no different than eyeshadow primer. You could probably use that. You just need something to make it tacky. It does have a similar consistency to Too Faced Shadow Insurance. I've never tried using that instead, but I really like it and it's affordable. Another NYX product is the NYX Eyebrow Gel. I've heard that this is the dupe for the Makeup Forever one. I don't own the Makeup Forever one, so I can't talk about that, but this has been amazing. And it is waterproof. You will have to scrub to get it out. It is no joke, but it's really, really good. I wore it for Miami Music Week and it was raining and there was no issues. My brows were on my brows. They weren't anywhere else. So as far as concealers, I've been using pretty much the same concealers, but I have changed up how I set my under eye area. So now what I do is I've always used these Real Techniques mini sponges to blend out the concealer. But now what I do, which I was Googling about this because I was never able to bake, because whenever I tried, what would happen is the moment I put the powder on my skin, it would just, like I could feel my skin sucking up the powder like a straw. Like I can't describe it any other way. It was just like shriveled up and then it just looked crazy. So I never ever baked after that moment. But then I was reading online, I was trying to figure out if anyone else was experiencing that and if it was just the powder I was using or whatnot. So I read online, someone said to put your concealer and then set it with a sponge, like spray your sponge with setting spray. So that's what I've been doing. That's why the Urban Decay All Nighter Makeup Setting Spray is another favorite. This is the setting spray I've been using for years now. So I just spray a little bit on the flat side of the sponge just so I know which side I'm using for what. And then I dab it on the under eye area. I wait like a little bit. I would say maybe like a minute just so it's not so wet. And then I go in with the same damp sponge on one of the sides with my IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Pores loose powder. You guys know I'm obsessed with the pressed powder for the rest of my face. But as far as the under eye area, I do this and I put a light little layer. I let it sit for a little bit and then I brush off any excess. I don't put crazy amounts like some people do. I just put a small little layer. Amazing, amazing. That whole little routine has like changed my life. I don't do it all the time because it's just a bunch of little extra steps, but when I know I want my under eye area to last, that's what I do. Since we were talking face, let's stay on face. So I've been using a lot of liquid illuminators lately. I don't use them on their own. I always set them with a powder illuminator just because I don't want it to transfer. I also live in a humid climate, so everything kind of just likes to melt and slide off your face and get all crazy. So I always like to set it. So the two that I've been loving is Benefit's High Beam when I want a more like pinkish white toned. And then I've been loving the Kevyn Aucoin Celestial Skin Liquid Lighting Illuminator. And I like the shade Candlelight. I have both shades. I forget what the other one is called, but Candlelight is my favorite. It is a more champagne shade. So what I do is for either one, well, the Benefit one has like a little applicator, so I just put a few dots and then blend it out with a damp mini sponge. For this one, I just apply it directly on the sponge and dab it on. And then I set it with a powder illuminator. So for illuminators, this is probably the first time that this has ever happened on my channel, but the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kits made it as a favorite. I own one of the original Glow Kits. I think it's called Gleam. I wasn't blown away. I wasn't happy about it, to be honest. So I finally purchased Moonchild, the Moonchild one. I've been wanting to get it for a long time because funky shades make me so happy, and I just thought of all the crazy like lip things I could do and eye looks I can do with it, along with highlighting with it. But I was holding off because it was only available on the Anastasia website, and I don't know, I'm just lazy when it comes to purchasing directly from a retailer, like a brand. I like to just get everything at Sephora, get everything at Ulta. It's easy, I get points with it, it's fun, I get really quick shipping, but I went for it. And the reason is because I really wanted to get another item that was only available on the Anastasia site at the time. You'll see it later on. But I got this and I loved it. And then I had to get the Nicole Guerrero Glow Kit because I love her. She's one of the first YouTubers I ever started watching. And I was very, very worried about this Glow Kit because I thought the only shade that was gonna work for me was this Forever Lit shade. I thought the rest of them were gonna be too dark for my skin tone. I am very pale, but I'm happy to share that I actually have only used the Forever Lit for my inner corner. I've actually never used it on my face. I've used Kitty Cat, Forever Young, Daydream, and Glow Getter. I haven't used 143 yet, but all four of these have been fine for my skin tone. Even Glow Getter I was super worried about, but I even showed on my blog, like I showed them live, because I was actually really, really surprised with the fact that I could wear this. So if you're worried about being too fair-skinned for this Glow Kit, do not worry. You can get a lot of use out of this. Super, super amazing. Okay, So the thing I was mentioning was the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip palette. That's the thing that I really wanted to get, that I ended up getting the new child along with it. I love this palette. Will I say that you need to go out and get this palette? No, I won't say that, because I wouldn't say this is very practical at all unless you're a makeup artist, because if you're a makeup artist, this will be really great. You can mix up colors and whatnot. But if you're just using this just for fun, I would probably only recommend this if you like to play with makeup, you enjoy that, or if you make videos or you make any sort of makeup online content, just because the possibilities are endless and it's super fun. But just for a casual user, I don't know that I would recommend it, just because I'm not mixing up colors and then going out for the night. Let's say it was like the Urban Decay lip palette. Maybe you could convince yourself to take that thing with you and reapply that shade. When it comes to this is a lot of work. You're not gonna take the little mixing tray and go mix up the color when you run out. Now, you could always get those little containers and mix up colors and have enough that you can take and reapply, but that just seems like a lot of work. I don't know many people that would do that when there's pretty much lipstick in almost every single shade. But if you do enjoy playing, if you like being artistic, this is definitely a fun one. Now for lippies, I have 3 and they're pretty neutral type shades. The first one is my Urban Decay Vice Lipstick in Naked. I believe this is one of the ones they sent me a while back. This pretty much just stays in my purse as like a really easy go-to lip shade when I forget to put lipstick on. And then the other 2 are Too Faced lippies. Both of these I purchased myself. The first one is Cool Girl. And it's just a really pretty, like cool toned nude, but it's not super, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's a very like pinky nude. If you feel like the shade Sellout is too dark, this is a really good lighter shade, but not so light as Me So Pretty, which I cannot wear. So the next shade is one of the new shades. This one is Granny Panties. I've been wearing this shade like crazy. It's a shade I always wish existed. It's like a dusty lavender. That's the best way that I can describe it. So the reason why I love this shade so much is because I feel like it's a mix of 2 of my favorite lip colors at the moment, which is Queen Bee from Too Faced, and the other one would be the Smashbox Always On liquid lipstick in the shade Chill Zone, which is like a gray. So it's a mix of that purpley mauve with that gray, and then you get Granny Panties. So beautiful, beautiful shade. Amazing. Let me wipe this off before I get it everywhere. Let's move on to skincare. So for skincare, I have a few items. The first one is the Cosmetics Bye Bye Makeup 3-in-1 Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm. I'm not usually a huge fan of these type of products. I feel like it's an extra step. I feel like I don't need it. But I've been getting a lot of use out of this, especially because I have been doing a lot of arm swatches. I've been doing a lot of crazy face makeup. So this is actually a solid form. They did send this to me. So you see, like, I haven't really used that much, but I've used it tons. If that makes any sense. I've used it many times, but you don't really need a lot. In the past, I've used my Pond's Cold Cream to help remove the swatches from my arm, but I had to use a lot. I had to do it more than once. It was pretty crazy. But I showed, I think on Instagram or Snapchat, I showed how I applied this and it pretty much removed all my Bobbi Brown like lip swatches that I had done, like arm swatches with the lipsticks, in one wipe. So basically I put it on, like moved it around, and then I took a baby wipe and just whoop, and it was just crazy. This is unreal. What's cool is you're supposed to use it on dry skin, and you can rinse it off with warm water, or you can just rinse it off with a wet cloth. So pretty much you can do this anywhere, use this anywhere. It doesn't have to be somewhere where you have access to like water. You could probably do it with a baby wipe. So that's kind of cool. Most things you have to kind of like rinse off a bunch. Another skincare item that I've tried recently that Pure Cosmetics sent me is their Joystick, which is an exfoliating deep pore cleanser. I actually have a video where I actually use this live. I gotta edit it. But I've never tried like stick cleansers. This one was actually really interesting because it has like a grit to it. So it's definitely exfoliating, but not too exfoliating. It kind of smells like, I don't know, it reminds me of like Noxzema, like old school Noxzema. Does anyone remember that smell? I don't know, maybe I'm crazy. But I really, really like it. I don't know how much it costs and I don't know how long this will last because I've only just started using it, but I've actually really enjoyed it. Another skincare item. This I actually got at Gen Beauty. It's the Derma E Vitamin C Micellar Cleansing Water. I never understood the micellar water. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. I've never understood the craze about it. I didn't know where this would fit into my skincare routine, but this has been so amazing for removing any remnants of makeup. I used to use my toner for that, but this has been doing a crazy amazing job. I do this in between washing my face and before putting on my toner. This helps remove any little bits of makeup because there's always a little bit left no matter how good you wash your face. This has been amazing, and I like that it has vitamin C in it. And what's cool about this line that they have with vitamin C, it's 100% stable vitamin C. So usually anything with an antioxidant, once you open it, once you expose it to air, once you put it on your face, it starts to oxidize. So this is not going to do that. So amazing. I also have Skin Fix. I think that I got this at a Gen Beauty some time ago. It's their renewing cream. It's meant to smooth, dry, rough, bumpy skin and keratosis pilaris. So I've been using this, which I've mentioned in my vlog channel that I have, I've been getting tiny little bumps in the back of my arms, and I've been using a few different products to help with that. And I've actually started using this on my arms, and I feel like it's made a difference. And it doesn't have like a crazy smell to it. All of the Skin Fix products are so thick and moisturizing that you don't need to use a crazy amount, which I like. So I don't like to feel like I'm using half the bottle of a product for it to work. So if you have any issues with bumps on your skin, I recommend trying that for sure. So I've got 2 more items, physical items, and these are top coat and a base coat. So the base coat is FormulaX's Prime Xcel base coat. I find that this has helped my nail polish last longer. I had already purchased it, and then I saw Jessica Braun talking about it, Jam Beauty 89. So I started switching and using this exclusively, even though I had already bought it. So technically she didn't make me buy it, but she made me feel confident in using this exclusively as a base coat, and it has helped a lot with extending my nail polish. I did buy the top coat as well, but I'm crazy and I always mess up my nails because I move and touch things and whatnot, so I need a quick dry top coat, which I don't believe that one is. So I've been loving the Sally Hansen Big Quick Dry Top Coat. It's very affordable. I have gone through so many of these. So the other things I wanted to talk about were just shows and whatnot, because I know I'm always looking for, new shows to watch. So I love when people give me recommendations. So if you have any show recommendations, make sure to leave it in the comments. Or documentaries. Those are my favorite kind of things. Like I can watch documentaries, like movie form. I like that. So for shows, on Netflix, they have this series called The 9 Months That Made You, I believe it's called. And it's so cool. If you geek out on sciencey stuff, you're gonna love this. And I've taken all kinds of science, so I was able to refresh my mind of how the cells divide and all that. So basically it goes through the entire 9 months from conception to birth, and how the cells divide, how they turn into the different structures of your body, how they specialize. And it also kind of talks about the different mutations that can happen along the way. And then they actually, if it's not one of those mutations that automatically results in miscarriage, like if it's one that the baby can survive with, and there's actually a live example of it, they have that person kind of on camera, and so you can see what that mutation shows up in. So it's really, really cool. Very, very interesting. If you like sciencey stuff, you're gonna love that. What else? Oh, if you guys watch my vlog channel, you know that I went through Grey's Anatomy again. I have this thing where I can't just watch the new season. I have to watch all the seasons in a row to watch like the new season of a show, which is insane. I know, it's totally insane. But I did that with Grey's Anatomy, and I fell back in love with it. Spoiler alert, it's really rough without McDreamy. Hopefully that's not a spoiler, but still a really good show to watch. I can't believe that show's been going on for so long. It's gonna be like the next General Hospital. The one that you guys recommended to me so much that if you haven't seen this, you need to, This Is Us. If you have Hulu, all the episodes are up there so you can watch the entire season. I don't know how people did it, watching it week to week. That's not my thing, especially with a show like that. I want to watch it all straight through to really get into it. Really great show. Very, very well written. So cool how they did it. I'm not gonna talk too much about it because it's one of the newer shows, so I don't want to spoil it for anyone that hasn't gone on board with that. So definitely watch This Is Us. So those were all my favorites for March. I know most of them were makeup and beauty and all of that, but I did throw in my shows that I've been into for this past month. Definitely leave me any sort of recommendations for makeup, skincare, shows, apps, whatever you want to recommend to me. I love all that stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this favorites video. Be sure to give it a big thumbs up if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!